Hey guys, Zativert here. I'm going to be doing a gameplay video for today, and this is another high elo game I played about 2 months ago or so. This is against Jamaican Banana. It's a challenger Ivern main, probably the best Ivern player, at least in North America, and Anibot. So I think this was like a low challenger, high grandmaster type of game. I recognize a couple other names, but they're not like super high ranked players, but it's still like yeah, I would say it's like a low challenger average game. Uh, and yeah, I have Jamaican Banana on my friends list. He was saying, look how funny. He's a very nice guy, very respectful person, just towards everyone, I guess. Um, really fitting for the Ivern character, I would say. Anyway, so I don't know exactly. I think their karma is autofill. That guy plays fill a lot. Oh yeah, their Darius is a pretty good Darius player too. Like it's a Darius one trick. I think he was challenger before. And I remember going to this game like I'm typing to Jamaican Banana or whatever. Like this just looks like such a hard game because like you see like I don't know like with Ivern on the team it's just so hard to kill anyone and Karma too, and it's just gonna be like Darius just running in with like Karma speeding him up and Ivern shielding him and whatever and just killing everyone. Like that's what it felt like to me that the game was gonna be like. And then like Annie starts to play, and then Darius runs in with a million shields. Then Samira, if she gets ignored, she just starts killing everyone too with her ultimate and stuff, the resets. So I was like, damn, this is gonna be a hard game. But like the thing about League of Legends is, I mean, it's not like our team comp is horrible or something. It's just that like theirs look pretty solid. The thing about League of Legends is just like the grand majority of games, like the overwhelming majority, aren't really determined by like team comp or, uh, you know, like almost anything. Like it's just like the skill at which the players play, I guess, more than anything. Like you could have the worst team comp ever and still beat people with really good team comp. You're just playing, better. So here I noticed the enemy junglers start bot side, so I'm looking for an invade on their blue buff. I did this before against an Ivern, and it worked really well, I found, so I'm trying it here, I guess. I'm gonna start it, and then I'm gonna place a ward over. It's kind of funny, actually. I feel like Ivern's usually the one that's really good at invading, but I'm the one invading Ivern. Like, I don't know. Ivern's kind of king of cheese invades, I feel like. And then I noticed that it's marked, so I'm like getting pretty paranoid. Like normally I would split the aggro between the Gromp and the blue buff, but like I'm like, holy shit, it's marked, it's marked. He surely will come here soon. Like I gotta be quick about this. But actually I think I could have actually just done the Gromp and the blue buff. I would have gone out in time. Yeah, he went over to the rap or the wolf canvas. So that's I think that was an accident by him, to be honest. And then you can see like um sometimes I'll like go for a gank immediately. Sometimes I'll go back to clearing my jungle. This time I decided to clear my jungle because like, yeah, I could probably have gone to golems instead and then cleared all the way down without skipping golems as well. It just kind of like if I do that, then I get to the scuttle late, and then if he for some reason goes straight to the bot scuttle, then he picks it up without contest, and then I'm not in position to switch back to the top scuttle either necessarily unless I like start pathing ahead to the blue gromp or whatever. I don't know. It's really complicated. I'm not clearing these wolves really well. I could have like done it better, but it's okay. I mean, it's awkward because I don't have my point in E, obviously. So yeah, here like for example, like I would be doing blue gromp, but like I'm going to the scuttle because I'm paranoid that he might have like like skipped around and gone back towards it, and then I noticed he pushed to bush like on top of me, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I thought he was like in front of the blow up or whatever. Turns out he was just doing the scuttle. Yeah. So I'm a little annoyed, I guess. But like this is really silly because the enemy ball lane, like they should really know I'm here. They just saw me. Galio doesn't release his taunt quickly enough, so we don't get the free kill on Karma. But the Samira, instead of just flashing away, like dashes through Kaisa towards us. I don't know why. I think that was just an accident from him. Like honestly, really silly. What that should have been is just probably like I gotta pause here. What it should have just been like Elio just taunting instantly the Karma I follow up. We change this here. She dies before games do anything. Maybe she flashes with 1 HP and just dies. This is a huge fuck up for me. Like, I should never miss this Q. The guy has no flash and he's cornered. It results in Galio dying and Kai'Sa having to use flash. Like, I think if I had not missed that Q, I would have probably had to flash out after Karma gets finished off or whatever. Maybe I would have died, but I don't think so. I kind of doubt that since I had these amount of health. So yeah, that's a pretty big fuck up for me. But it's still good. Like it's still worth it. Obviously, we get that Karma. They like their team loses a little bit of the wave and stuff, and it's like a kill plus an assist versus just a kill. So here I'm just like I guess my mindset now is like the dragon's coming up soon. I might clear Gromp and then go back to top side and clear my golems and then my raptors and my wolves or whatever. Maybe at some point divert to dragon, or I might stay on the map and look for dragon. And I think that's what I'm ending up deciding because it's just like it to me feels like the Ivern has a lot of camps up. He's probably just gonna go look for those camps, and the enemy like ball lanes push in. They're not gonna expect this type of thing. Ivern or Vi's pretty good at doing dragon too. I didn't mean to say Ivern at all. I mean, obviously Ivern's not that good at doing dragon, but that's totally unrelated. Yeah. And then you saw I like queued through here with the scuttle thing. Like, he shouldn't take the last hit because I get bonus XP. I usually like if I'm playing like low elo, I don't even bother saying this. But if I'm playing like with a player that I might plausibly see again, and this is like low challenger or whatever, I'll like type this because it's just like it's so weird how few people know that like getting the last hit on a large or epic monster gives you like a significant amount of bonus experience, and that if like the AD carry or whatever tries to like if the AD carry steals it, he's like getting 25 gold instead of me getting 25 gold, which is pretty much irrelevant, like completely irrelevant. The gold is worth maybe like 5% more on him at most in terms of like his scaling and stuff. But he's denying our team, ergo me, like 150 experience or whatever, which is actually pretty significant early in the game. Like I would be like level 5.5 instead of level 5 and 20% or whatever right now. But anyways, not a huge deal. I wouldn't bother saying this in a lower rank game. Like there's just no point because then if it's in a lower rank game, it's just bicker. Like it doesn't, there's no point in bickering with your team and arguing and saying like blah 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 this or that, or like coaching your team. Like that's just a waste of time always, pretty much, especially if it's just random people. But if it's like in a high rank game, and in this case, it's something that honestly, like for some reason, a lot of people just don't even know. So this is, whoa, what the heck? Whoops, I accidentally skipped forward or skipped back. Let me just go back here. I don't agree with this buy at all. I had exactly 950 gold. I feel like I could have, let me just, yeah. Okay, actually, it's rough. Okay, one thing, I should have switched to red trinket here, almost guaranteed, is a better choice than staying on yellow for a little bit longer. It's not a huge deal, but I would definitely switch to red here. The Ionian Boots of Lucidity are a really good choice here with exactly 950 gold, but the one thing is that if I buy Doran's Longsword, it does still give me a component towards Divine, the Longsword, and it also lets me buy Ping. So this is a good buy too. There's actually like decent benefit to this. I'll be a little bit stronger if the scrap doesn't involve movement speed or CDR or whatever. And I'll have my divine a little bit sooner logically, and I get to have a pink word, or control word, which is pretty valuable, I guess. But I think if I were playing this game right now, I would probably have just bought Lucidity straight up. Lucidity, red trinket, and left base instantly. But this is alright too. I could have charged Q a little bit more and saved an auto there. Going towards top scuttle right now, I'm going to hit level 6 off this. I would have probably been level 6 already if it weren't for Kai'Sa taking last hit on Dragon. It's not that Kai'Sa gets no XP from that either, but she just gets like 20 XP versus me getting like, 170 XP or whatever. Whoops. What the hell is this for me? I meant to E through it onto the scuttle to finish off the scuttle while saving a hit, but then the scuttle got too far away by the time my E came up, so I couldn't do that. So this is the blue buff again that like Ivern, I took this from Ivern earlier in the game after my red buff, so it's coming up again now. I'm worried about Darius coming, so I'm pinging my Wukong to come over. Like normally I would go down to place my trinket that's coming up to get some vision of here in case Ivern's coming over or whatever, or maybe place my trinket here, but it wasn't up quite yet. And at this point in time, the most important thing is just to make sure I don't get killed by Darius. So now I'm just checking to see if the Gromp was up because I never checked earlier. And now I'm passing through here because I think there might be a kill potential on Annie. Darius obviously doesn't look killable. I think Annie was a little low. Oh no, she's not. But the Ivern is nearby too. But if we get like everything on her, then it's good. But that's like, they should know that I'm in this area. Like logically speaking, they should just know that I'm in that area. So that should never work. And the Ivern could still be like nearby. Like if Annie goes up too much and it's just looking free, it's probably because Ivern's sitting by and waiting for me to see if I'll go in or whatever. My Victor is kind of low too. Like it might even just be 1-for-1, especially if Ivern's still there. So I decided to just go for Rift Herald. Looks pretty free as long as Ivern's somewhere on the bot side of the map. If he gets, like the worst case for me here would be if he got my bot side jungle, but he didn't even pick it up, I don't think. So I just take this, and then his top side jungle is coming up. He just recalled, so I still have time to maybe pick up the Gromp, and then that's it. Or maybe the Wolves, and then that's it. But I decided to just look mid instead, because now I know Annie's really far up and definitely doesn't have Ivern nearby, not for a little while still. So I'm looking for this. It looks maybe possible. It's close. Okay, yeah, we got it. All right. Yeah, it was a little. I mean, I can't do much about that, like in terms of like any having the stun holding it for me, like, but it's fine. It doesn't matter there. This is okay. This was right after. This was like 2.5 months ago or something. This was right after they changed Smite, so that like it's to make jungle it's like slightly stronger and a bit easier because jungle is like suddenly became the least popular role in the game because they nerfed it really hard, which was really lame of them. So they needed to do something to make it more popular, which is I guess make it more accessible towards bad players. So they made it so that like after you smite 5 times or whatever, your smite just does 900 damage, which is still the case, but on this patch and for like 1 or 2 patches, it did the full damage even on like cannons, even the 900 damage even on cannons or Tibbers or Daisy or whatever. So like yeah, this is kind of funny because this is like right after that patch, I'm pretty sure, and I'm just like, wow, I can literally just like if they spawn Tibbers or Daisy, I can just smite it and it's already like either dead or like 100 HP. Like it's just like huge indirect nerf to Ivern and Annie, I guess. But they changed that. They fixed it after a patch or two, so that's not the case now. If you use it now, and it's kind of dumb, I don't know if this is really the best fix for it, but the way that it works now is instead of doing the flat 900 damage, if you target it onto something that's not a jungle monster, instead of doing the flat 900 damage, it does like a percentage of its health or something. I'm gonna sell refillable for. Oh, I thought I was gonna sell refillable for a ruby crystal here. I don't know if I agree with this buy either. It's not bad, but selling refillable for or selling pink for refillable would have been. Sorry, selling refillable for ruby instead of getting a control word would have been a decent choice, but not necessarily like the best choice, but it definitely a decent choice because it's more combat stats and it get my Sunder sooner. I was really debating which person to go on here. The Samira was not the right choice, but I mean, technically neither was Karma because like you see how Samira just flashed out of my Q instantly, and then the Karma flashed like immediately after. Like that's kind of stupid. See, I just instantly killed Tibbers. Like, it could have been in quite a bit more trouble if Tibbers just stayed alive for a while there. It stays alive for like a whole minute or some shit. So anyways, we got Karma flash and Samira flash. No one pinged the Samira flash for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she dashed. I don't think so though, but anyways, yeah. It's just too bad. If I was just a little bit closer, like, for example, like earlier on, you might have seen I actually left base a little bit slower than I could have. Like I could have left base like a second or two sooner, which seems like irrelevant. But like, for example, like I have a video on how to, buy items while holding Q on buy to save yourself time as you're leaving base. I did do that, but I wasn't walking out while I was doing it because it's just like the timing is so, it's so like I have to be like careful about that. I guess I don't want to mess up and then waste like even more time going back and forth or whatever. But like if I had just gone there like literally 0.5 of a second sooner, I would have been just a bit closer to the Galio casting taunt or whatever, and then I would have been able to follow up with my Q on either the Samira or the Karma, which would have probably secured us a kill. But yeah, here this isn't necessarily the best Rift Herald, but it's a Rift Herald. Do you know what I mean? Like the best use of Rift Herald usually is like you go to a tower, you knock down a plate or two, then you use Rift Herald to get yourself even more plates. Like Rift Herald basically gives you guaranteed 2 plates. But you know how like I'm trying to get like see if we can get this. Get it, Victor, you chump. All right, nice. You know how Rift Trail basically just gives you guaranteed 2 plates? Well, like if you're starting to hit a plate and that tower hasn't been hit recently, this is such a bad E. If you're starting to hit a tower and it hasn't been hit recently, you do a lot of damage to the tower. But then after 1 plate, you start to do like kind of damage to the tower. And then like, after that second plate gets destroyed, like you're doing like no damage to the tower, like very little. And then after that, if you somehow get 3 plates, like you're just doing like 5 damage to the tower. It's so basically like the tower gets a temporary buff to its resistance or whatever, makes you do 1% less damage. I don't really know which one, but it's kind of irrelevant. Effectively, all you need to know is that you do significantly less damage for each plate that gets destroyed for a period of time. Like, I think it's like a minute or 2, and then it also gets reset. Whoops, I cancel attack animation here. It's pretty bad. Might lose me this kill. He just took the Grom, so he healed up like a crazy amount. So this is just a stupid idea for me, honestly speaking. Like, I have no business even looking for this. It looks like maybe Victor can do something off of it, but nah, not really. Hey, no, Wukong didn't have ulti, so definitely not. Yeah, that was just That was like just like honestly the stupidest move. I had so much jungle up to clear, and the scuttle's like coming up, and I'm just going for an ulti that's just like it can never work. Even if the Ivern hadn't taken the Gromp and healed up like 500 health or whatever, it still would have been pretty close whether or not I can actually get him, especially because I cancel attack animation. I would have probably sold refillable for a longsword here at this stage of the game. I mean, refillable is not that big a deal. It is worth less than a longsword, and I will be buying an item that contains longsword later, but that would potentially delay my mythic. But like the odds that I'm gonna go back again with just 300 gold are so low. Like normally I back after clearing a few camps, getting dragon, getting a kill, whatever, like, you know what I mean, like I have nothing else to do on the map, or I'm just too low to do anything. So like it's quite uncommon for me to not have like 700 gold at least or something around there on a back. I think Ivern was at top side, so I'm just like looking to take this. It's a little bit risky though because we got Annie and Karma converging on us. This is such a bad Q for me. I could have flash Q and connected on Annie, which could potentially be a kill. I'm using blast shield here on the Annie tippers to survive. Or I could have connected it onto Karma guaranteed, which would have been good too. Like I think Karma is probably the better one there versus flash queuing Annie. I could keep waiting for Annie to see if she'll walk up, but yeah. Basically, like they almost got me there. I'm grateful I was able to like just blast shield and then tap the Q out, but they over chased it. Like they kept over fighting to see if they could get something, and it really didn't work out for them. Ivern like isn't allowed to have this Raptor camp because he's in no position to take it right now. The Annie's chunked, he's chunked. I have ult. Like, in fact, Annie's potentially just a free kill here. Now that she has no vision of me being here, like I'm kind of seeing. I wish the Victor would walk up just a bit. Like instead of like backing, clearing the wave and whatever, I wish he just walked up a little bit to see the Annie because she's probably pedaling over here right now. And like I don't know how to communicate this to him. Like if there was voice chat, maybe I could communicate to him. Not that I necessarily want voice chat for League, but like if I could somehow, because I can't really type this while like also hitting the Raptors, and it's kind of a complicated thing to say, like, hey, can you just move up a little bit so I can see Annie pedaling over here so I can flash Q her and kill her instantly? But yeah, it's like, so we lose she probably just backed right here, or she just ran all the way back, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm like mildly annoyed, but it's not a big deal. We just probably had an opportunity there. Anyway, so basically what I was trying to say about the Herald earlier, I want to pause and just explain this real quick, is that like what you like the best use of Herald normally, most of the time, is to get a plate or two, or like get a plate, and then like when you're close to finishing off the second plate, then you put the Rift Herald down, and then you get 4 plates. Sometimes, but very rarely, if you really got a tower just like dead to rights, like you got big creep wave, 2-3 people there, whatever. This is talking about plates, of course. I'm still talking about plates. Then maybe you can get like 2.5 plates and then put the Rift Herald down, and then as you're getting close to finishing that third plate, the Rift Herald hits it and does 2 plates of damage, and it's like 100 HP at that point. That's maybe like the best case scenario, but that's kind of rare. A lot of the time it's just you get 2 plates, and then the Rift Herald gives you an extra 2 plates. This is just free kills for us. The game's looking pretty good here. We're only like 5 to 10, but it just feels like we have so much control at the bottom side. We have so much control in the jungle. We got 2 dragons on them. It's looking pretty free. This isn't what I would have bought right now. I mean, it's okay. It uses all my gold and gives me a pink. But like the thing that's wrong about this, or what I don't like about this, is that I have no CDR right now. Like I only have a bit of CDR coming from Divine, and I really want more CDR. So like that's why I really like Ionian these days. I'm probably gonna make a video specifically about that, just to talk about that for people who are too lazy to watch these like full gameplay commentaries. Honestly, like a lot of these full game commentaries that I've been doing, including the most recent one, like there's so many random little lessons in the videos, like that they're arguably my best videos. Like although it might not be condensed to like a 1-minute thing or whatever, like quickly explaining all the details of it or whatever, like you can learn the most from watching these videos, honestly, along with seeing some of my gameplay and me talking about what I'm doing and everything. So here I'm just kind of like picking up my level up. When you're close to leveling up as a jungler and you've got a bit of spare time, or you potentially have a bit of spare time, and I mean this applies to anyone, not just jungle, of course, but like level ups are worth a lot of gold. Like a level up is worth like 300, 400, 500 gold in stats. I don't know exactly what or whatever, but it's a pretty significant amount. Like your health regen, mana regen, AD, AP, MR, armor, whatever, all go up. At least worth like 300, 500 gold or whatever. And then of course you also get the skill points. So a level up is worth a lot. So if there's like a fight that might happen over, in this case, the dragon, and I've got like potentially a little bit of spare time. Even sometimes like I don't really necessarily have spare time, but I'm like, okay, wait, guys, let's slow this down. Let's just stay away from fighting for just a second, because like if I can get this Gromp, I'll hit level 9 or 10 or 7, or if it's, especially if it's like a level that's really important to you, like, level 6, or, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but like, level 2 or level 3, of course, like you can't do shit with just, one level. But like a level that's actually pretty relevant, then it's even more important. Level 11 and level 6 is the ones that people care about the most, or like level 16. It depends on the character you're playing. On Vi, honestly, on Vi, hitting level 11 or level 16, I mean, it might be slightly more important than, hitting like level 10 or hitting level like 15 or whatever, but it's not that big a deal. You're not playing like Cassin or something. It's not like a giant power spike, whatever. It is good, but it's not like a huge deal. Here, I just feel like I have no damage for this. This guy's died so many times. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the game. Like, this is like a, low challenger, high grandmaster type game. And I was saying, like, the only thing I'm sure about, other than, it's Jamaican Banana, Antibot, etc., is that the karma is auto-filled. And yeah, the karma is really being a huge detriment to his team in this one. Just pretty common. Yep. If I was the one on karma, I'd probably be, doing the same thing. Same kind of thing. And it's not that he's not trying. Usually it's just, he died at like level 3. And it's so bad because like Ivern and I just saw each other at the scuttle, and then I just walk straight to bottom. Ivern sees me walking towards bottom, and then I get a completely free kill on Karma. The only reason we don't get the free kill is because my Galio is just too dumb to press his taunt and release it quickly, because like otherwise he just gets chain CC. Like, that alone is just so illogical. Like, it's like you could say like, oh, he just has really bad map awareness or whatever. People love simplifying things like that, but the thing is, like, a lot of players, like, they just aren't used to specifically having to have that map awareness regarding getting, for example, ganked at top lane, or ganked at mid lane, or ganked at support or whatever. Like they're used to, like, I don't know, for example, let's say if it's a jungle main, they're used to tracking the enemy jungler and looking around for where where people are moving and stuff for their team. They're not used to like micromanaging trades and a laning phase and whatever, while like trying to keep tabs on like whether or not the enemy jungler is coming to their lane. Like, their brain is tunneled into the trades and the CS and whatever. They're not even thinking about it, because like they're too busy trying to like do the thing that they think they should be doing. So that's like, honestly, like something really underrated is just like when people are auto-filled or playing something that they're not good at, they're usually trying harder to like they're trying to compensate for their lack of, like, their brains can't just automatically play that role or that character very well because they're not familiar enough with it. So they try to compensate by paying more attention to it, but that doesn't really work that well, because if you try and tunnel more into like how to play your character well, and like, okay, is this trade that I'm doing the right kind of trade with this character, or is it good for the situation or whatever, then you start having really bad map awareness because you're not there for. So here I ping so I can get the auto on him quickly. This is a little while ago. It's like 2-3 months ago, because like he just moved with Strikebreaker. That hasn't been the case for a good while. That's okay. I mean, I recorded these games when I was like trying to do a lot of YouTube videos, and I wanted to record some good games, so I was just spamming games while recording, and I got like a good handful, like 10-ish games that I was like, I'm really happy with this. I would be happy commentating this. It's not that I think I have made no mistakes in that game, but I think there's a lot of little details I can go over and whatever in that game. And it's like, I could just, throw all those in the trash and just go try to record new games, but the game hasn't changed that much. Like, and if there's something that's significantly different, like for example, Strikebreaker moving, or me being able to smite Annie's pet, or Ivern's Daisy or whatever for like full damage or whatever, like I'll obviously I'll point it out. The only other significant thing here has been, for example, like my build. I mean, these items haven't changed. None of the items in my inventory have changed. The only thing that's changed is I think Divine Sunder was given a tiny nerf, and then Doran's, or rather Omnivamp, which is Doran's blade as Omnivamp, was changed to not work on wards, which I thought it was really funny that it worked on wards, because Lifesteal worked on wards for like 5 or 6 or 7 years, and then they took it away, and then they added Omnivamp, and again it works on wards for some reason. It's kind of really funny. Actually, if anything, like Omnivamp was so versatile when it came out with it. Like, it just worked on absolutely everything. It worked on plants, wards, pets, like Zaire plants. Like, you're just healing crazy amounts off of everything, from every ability. Like, they've like taken away so much of that and also nerfed basically every single source of omnivamp in the game. It's kind of funny. I'm thinking about like the beginning of season 11, like pre-season 11 or whatever, or the very beginning of season 11 or pre-season 11. But anyways, yeah, it's still good though. Obviously, it's not like, as crazy as it was. Anyways, yeah, this game is just free here. Like we're just picking up objectives. The enemy team's like behind enough that they're just trying to like you know they're just trying to like get into position where they can actually do something. And while they're doing that, we're just taking everything already. So it's like it's like they're always behind what we're trying to do, and that happens a lot in League of Legends. And honestly, like it's why a lot of people like FFing, like try to FF early because it's like realistically, if this was like chess or something, there's so many situations like this where it's like one team is just constantly trying to just like keep in pace with the other team, but they can't because the other team has got too much of a lead on like what they want to do and everything, like taking the jungle camps, taking the objectives, etc., getting the vision. That like it's never possible unless the team that has the huge like advantage in tempo or whatever is just like for example, I'm in the middle of setting up vision and taking Ivern's bot side jungle for free or whatever because I'm like ahead in levels, experience, backs, everything, you know. And then for some reason I just kill myself, like I just run in and die or whatever. Like I did it over here. We had a big tempo lead and I just killed myself at their ground or whatever. Like that's basically the only noteworthy opportunity that they have of getting back in the game. Like someone oversteps or does something stupid or whatever, or just goes in the complete wrong spot or does something the complete wrong way or whatever. And I mean, it's hard to tell too, because sometimes it looks like that, but it's not as much like that as it is. But there's definitely a lot of moments like that. But honestly speaking, especially if you're playing in lower ranks, like I would say, even in like Grandmaster or Master, like I don't feel like I'm very impressed with the ability of people to close out games, even in Challenger people too, obviously. Like I was gonna say, basically, like even really bad games, they just won't get closed out very well. So like just keep playing, honestly. Like I never give myself the benefit of the doubt with regards to like deciding to give up on a game. But I was gonna say, like, and I've said this like 2 or 3 times in this game already, my build in this game, it's a great build. Like, you know what I mean? Like Doran's early like helped me, you know, be even stronger and give me like a buy that could afford control ward. I've got Sterax and Divine. I have so much HP and do so much damage. Like, I don't have any resist, sure. I just bought Mercs now, so now like it's even tougher for Karma, Annie, and Ivern to do anything to me. Their compers really not come online at all. The Darius isn't strong enough, and their Karma is like 2 behind. I mean, they're just losing off of. It's not even has anything to do with the comps. Like I was saying in the early game, like you know their comp looks so scary, but they never got to any kind of situation where they can do anything. It's so lame. I hate like trying to kill Ward and then it dies. I could tell that was going to happen too. That I should not even waste time on it because Wards give actually a good chunk of experience and gold if you got a second to take them. Um, yeah, but like, what was I saying? Right, this build I don't like it that. I mean, I like this build other than the fact that I don't have any CDR. So, but I really wanted Mercs because, you know, if I don't have Mercs and we get into a situation where it's like a real game, and like, you know, if you play a lot of Legends, you know how Ivern gets in like mid to late game or whatever. Like you're just getting like rooted and rooted and rooted and rooted, and like it's just so annoying. Like rooted, slowed, and then Annie's like stunning you over and over. Karma's rooting me. You know, it felt like to if the game was close, I would probably need to have a Mercs in like mid game team fights or whatever to be able to really like not just get you know locked down like crazy and bursted by Annie and whatever. Um, so that makes sense to maybe not go Ionian because I want Mercs. But the thing is, like, I just have no CDR right now, like at all. Like, I'm literally like 20%. I mean, it's not none at all. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But the thing is, like, that's too little. When it comes to, I'm talking about ability haste, I'm calling it CDR, but it's actually ability haste. When it comes to ability haste, like, the less of it you have, the more you get out of it type of thing. So what you really want is to hit that kind of sweet spot for your character in terms of what options you have for items as well, where like you've got just the good amount of ability haste that you need for your character that you can afford to build. Not too much that it's starting to like not really give you much, but not too little that like you're not really getting much as you could be getting out of it, especially not if you like really make use of the ability haste. I want to say need because that's a little bit exaggerating. This wasn't that good of an ultimate, but it doesn't matter. We can do anything we want at this point. We're just too ahead. I have Sterax and everything. I missed Q here like an idiot. I just played that like total crap, but it's just like sometimes you get to a point where it's just like you just run the team over. It doesn't even matter. You just half-ass it completely. Um, but yeah, I'm just like I would. So what I would have probably done, you guys are probably wondering, like you're talking about how you want more ability haste, but like what would you have done then? I think what I might have done in this situation is I would have probably gone Ionians in that early back just to give me more tempo and a better back or whatever, lead instantly. No control word, or debatably worse, but it is really significant to get that mobility in CDR early. And then I have enough CDR with Ionian and Divine Sunder to have all I need. And then instead of going Strax right away, even though Strax is such a good item, it's so solid and especially strong in team fights. The HP and AD it gives is really solid. It's been really strong for pretty much the entire season. I would have probably gone for maybe like a Ravenous Hydra second item. Ravenous Hydra is actually pretty solid. It actually gives a bit more damage than Strax, but it gives less survivability. Of course, it doesn't give health, but it does give you like makes you clear waves in jungle faster, and it gives you a lot of sustain. Like the Omnivamp actually, like if you want to think of it this way, like when you're using Strax Gauge, your effective health is, let's say, like you got 400 health coming from the item or whatever. I don't know if it's like 350 or 400. Then you've also got the shield, which could be like 200 or it could be like 1,000 depending on how many people hit you right before it popped or whatever. Usually a couple hundred. But let's say you have like the same team fight but with Ravenous Hydra. Like how much will you heal from the Omnivamp during that team fight or before that team fight or after that team fight or whatever? Like how much will it increase your effective health? Well, like you're getting like 15 more damage from it than Strax, and you're getting the CDR, which in this case, like I theoretically really want because I really want to get Merc Treads and not Ionian, let's say. The amount it will increase your effective health over the course of like on an average team fight is probably like a couple hundred health. You know what I mean? So like basically you end up with like something similar to Strax because it increases your effective health. But if you get bursted, it's worse, obviously. But if you don't get instantly bursted, which I probably would in this case because we're so ahead, then my effective health from it might be the same or just a little bit less or maybe even more than Sterak's. And then, of course, there's the wave clear, the jungle clear that gets sped up a bit, and, of course, a bit more damage. So it's actually a pretty good alternative choice for Sterak's. I feel like it fills a very similar niche. Either that, or you can get, Black Cleaver or whatever. Black Cleaver gives you CDR2. It's kind of lame, as an item on its own, but it's really great if your team's like heavy on AD or your team's building up some armor or whatever. It will be something like that if I want to go for Merc Treads that badly. But anyways, yeah, that's the game. Went over a lot of stuff during this. It wasn't like a perfect game for me, but it was a pretty good game, The one suicide at the Ivern Scomp, a little bit conservative in some parts, but pretty good. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the game. Thanks for watching. If you like the game, feel free, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you like the game, let me know. Subscribe to my channel, whatever. I really appreciate all the support you guys give me, and yeah, thanks. And enjoy the rest of your day.